Last time we talked about the chi-distribution and how to get a statistic, and now let's take a look at an example. A certain burger stand claims that it could sell the following average amount of burgers in a day, in a given span of hours. You wanted to do a franchise of the same brand, and so you collected to see how true the claim is. You collected data. The following data is shown below. Alright, so this is from 7 to 9 to 5 to 7 p.m. They claim to have 10, 15 burgers, 30, 25, 25, 25 until 5 to 7 p.m. But you went there and you actually did some research, stay there for a day, and this is what your collected data is. Alright, now our aim is to prove how true the claim is. Like how close to 10, 15, 30, 25, 25, 25 the observed data is. So for us to do that, all we need to do is to get the chi-statistic and then find out the probability of it happening with respect to the claim. Alright, so let's try it out. So according to the thing I introduced last time, the chi-statistic is simply this thing. So much better if we can just do it in Excel. We can just put the data in Excel for it to be much more easier for us to handle. And so I copied it in Excel and translated the data into this. Hope you can see it. So just the exact data as I have last time, and now we can use Excel to process this result. So remember that what we are supposed to do is to get this. So that's what we'll do. The observe is the O, the E, the expected is what they told us and what we're trying to prove. So the claim is the expected. We expect it to be the value of the claim. Right, that's quite logical. All right, so let's try it out. Let's get the statistic for each one of this. The chi statistic. And that's equal to the observe minus the climb squared, and that is supposed to be divided by the climb. Alright, press enter, and if it all works fine, I can just drag it and let's check. Alright, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's alright, it's also right. Alright, and the last thing to do is for us to add this all together according to the formula. We are supposed to get the sum of it. So let's get the sum of it. So let's go for the sum here, which is equal to the sum this to that, and test. So it's the chi-statistic that we have is 3.51. Our aim is to find out the probability of getting that, and so we will do a chi-square distribution again. So we have a chi-statistic. We don't need to start at negative because we know it just starts at 0. Let's just do a 0.5 increment because this is rounded off to 3.5 if you wanted to 3.5. Let me see that. Let me just round it off so you can see that 3.5. So let's bring this down until it reaches 3.5. There you go. And let's calculate the chi-square. Now notice like what is the degrees of freedom that we're going to use. Now the degrees of freedom depends on n minus 1, same thing as the t-test. And so how many observed data do we have? We have 6 observed data, so our chi-square, there's 6 observations, but that's not what we base it on. We actually base it on the how many statistics we were able to make from it. So we have one, the statistic is right here if you remember. Let me just change the font color so you see. Alright, that's statistic. How many statistics do we have? That would be our sample size. Remember that we get our sample from the statistic, and hence the sample size is 6 from the statistic, and hence the degrees of freedom would be 5. So let's call this one y5. And hence if we're gonna do the chi-square, then it's with chi-square distribution, the statistic that we're testing on, the statistic that we wanted to build the distribution on, the degrees of freedom 5, and we now need to do cumulative true because we wanted to get the probability. Alright, definitely that's 0, and let's just double click on it, and that is it. Now let us build this. Let us build this by plotting it with dots. Alright, and here Here's the chart. Now, if you wanted to see the full chart, let me just erase this. And for you to see the full chart, if you need it, alright, if you need the full chart, then all we need to do is just to drag this down maybe until 11, right there, and double click on this. Alright, and then we go and highlight. We go and highlight until 11, and just insert the scatter plot again. So here we go. Let me just bring this up so we can see. So here is the cumulative distribution, and remember our calculated chi-statistic that we were able to get is 3.5, and hence if we look at where 3.5 is, it's right there. So it gives a value of 0.37. So that's 0.378. Right, so let's mark down. Let's change this to chi-squared cumulative distribution. Alright, so let's put the value that we got. Again, the value that we got was 3.78. So that's our p-value. So the p-value would be right here, 3.78. 0.38. Let's mark that in red, and let's talk about that.